Today's video, we're going to be graphing linear inequalities, which is going to be pretty much similar to when we graph lines, except the only difference is we have an inequality, so we have to do some shading in our graph because it could have multiple answers. Now, you would graph these like you would with any y equals mx plus b equation, right? You start at -1, click it, and then you go up 6 to the right 5. So up 6 to the right 5. Boom. But then a little bit different. There's 2 extra steps. Okay. The shade, first the line, since it is an equal sign here, it is going to be a solid line. And the shade, so if this is saying y is greater than all of this, that means all your solutions lie above the line. Any point in this area is going to be part of that solution. So I'm going to shade it in that direction. One thing I always say to help people remember is if it points away from y, this arrow is pointing away from y, you shade above. If it points to it, you shade below. So away, above. All right. And we're going to submit and say yes. Good. Let's look at another one. Okay. This one, you start at -8 and you go down 3 to the right 1. Now, I can't go down 3 to the right 1 here or else it won't go off the grid. So I have to go the opposite direction, up 3 to the left 1. So whenever you can't go in this one direction, you just got to go the other way in the opposite direction. And it's still going down from left to right. It is not equals to. So I'm going to have a dashed line. And it's pointing to y. So it's not pointing away. It's pointing to lines. So it's to y. So I'm going to shade below. All right. So if it was pointing away, you would shade above. This is shading below. Submit. Yes. Okay, new problem. Ooh, this one's not in y equals mx plus b form. That's not a bad thing. Okay, let's look. X plus y is less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to write that over here. And I'm going to get y by itself by subtracting x from both sides. So you get -x plus 1. And you can put the 1 there to help you see, okay. So that means I am going to start at, you're going to start at 1, and you're going down 1 to the right 1. Okay, it's an equal sign, so that stays solid. And it's pointing to y, so I shade below. Okay, so you just keep clicking this until it goes above or below. Submit. Alrighty. Let's look at a new one. Ooh, another good one. Okay, this will be our, let's do this one. So I'm going to write it over here. X minus 2y is less than 6. I'm going to put the 1 out in front. So I'm going to minus 1x from both sides. I'm going to bring down the -2y. And that's going to be less than -1x plus 6. Then I'm going to divide both sides by -2. Everything by -2. And you get, those cancel. Y is less than, -1 divided by negative, leave it as a fraction. If you leave it as a fraction, it tells you your rise overrun. So it's just 1/2 because a negative divided by negative is a positive. 1/2x I made a little silly mistake because remember when I divide both sides by a negative, don't forget this. If I divide both sides by a negative, that switches around the inequality. So you got to be careful. It then becomes a greater than. Okay. Good thing I caught myself before I did that. All right. So again, when you divide both sides by the by a negative number, it switches around this inequality from a less than to a greater than. So you have y is greater than 1 half x. 6 divided by negative 2 is, get that color again. Try to get that color. Negative 3. Didn't really get it. Okay. So my b is negative 3. I'm going up 1 to the right 2. Clicking it. It's not equals to, so I have to change the line to a dash line. And it's pointing away from y. This arrow is pointing away, so I'm going to shade above. Bam. Nice. Good thing. So good thing I caught myself. So, and remember, whenever you divide both sides by a negative number, it switches around the inequality. Okay. Well, they just switch where the y is, but you do that, and also leave your fractions. Don't convert them into decimals when you divide both sides by a certain number. Okay. Pointing away from y, you shade above. This points away from y, so you shade above. Everything else, you shade below. So that's it for today's video. Some of this you will have to show work on paper if you have a problem like this, so make sure you do that. And if you have questions, let me know. Thank you for watching.